Hi fight fans. In this video, Conor McGregor made a statement that got every UFC fan's attention. A new opponent for Conor that nobody expected. Conor McGregor versus Paddy Pimblett. Is this the fight to make for McGregor's return? Much has been said about this lately. A lot of people want to see this fight. Imagine how great a fight that would be. An old superstar versus a rising star, and both of them being great on the microphone. Imagine how popular Paddy Pimblett would become if they matched them up and he beats Conor. His popularity would skyrocket. But does he have a chance at all to defeat Conor? And after all, who is Conor's real next opponent? And finally, if you need to know more, then watch the video until the end. So let's begin. It's been over a year since the Notorious Conor McGregor set foot in the octagon, and so far we can only speculate about when he will return and who his opponent is going to be. However, regardless of his inactivity in the octagon, he's not shy to be active on social media, and this time he made a comment about Amanda Nunes' victory over Juliana Pena, a statement that made the MMA community talk about the Notorious. He compared his fight against Nate Diaz to Nunes versus Pena, as both fights share similarities. The former champion, Juliana Pena, won the first fight, submitting Nunes in the second round of their bantamweight showdown, exactly like Conor's first loss to Nate Diaz, when he was also submitted in the second round by the very same rear naked choke. Both of them, Conor and Nunes, exacted revenge on their rivals several months later, both in the same way, winning a 5-round war via unanimous decision. Speaking of McGregor, he's fully recovered and now at training, opening the question about who should he fight upon his return. Would that be a money fight against Mayweather? When the UFC president Dana White was asked what he thinks in regards to that, he simply replied, "All BS, bullshit." Jorge Masvidal has been calling the Notorious out for a while now, but Dana doesn't like that fight either, simply because Masvidal is too big for Conor. How about Chandler or Gaethje? Each of them could be a great scrap for Conor's return, but both of them are active warriors, and matching Conor against any of them could result in a bitter return to the Irishman and breaking the party of all of his supporters. However, the former double champ Henry Cejudo made an interesting statement that many fans would find amusing. He mentioned that Paddy Pimblett could be a good matchup for Conor, and at the end of the day, who can say no to that? Give him Conor McGregor. I think that would be a good fight because they're both not necessarily the elite, but they can fight each other, said Triple C on the show with the Schmo. I think Paddy would really give Conor McGregor some problems because he's a scrapper, continued Cejudo, opening a new solution for Conor's return. All things considered, this would really be a fight that makes sense. Paddy Pimblett is still not an elite of the elite fighter, and on the other hand, he is a rising star, so both of these factors can be a good reason to match this young prospect against McGregor. People are already talking about Pimblett. Dana White even said he has got that Conor McGregor vibe. Not only he, but Dan Hardy gave his opinion, saying that Pimblett could surpass Conor in some ways. Paddy is in a strong position where he could become way more than Conor McGregor. I think people will follow Paddy to a much longer degree than they have done with Conor because I don't think Paddy's going to fall off in the same way Conor did and find himself in handcuffs, said Hardy, who is also Pimblett's compatriot. Is this the fight to make for McGregor's return? Imagine how great a fight that would be. A young versus an old lion, the rivalry between England and Ireland, an old superstar versus a rising star, and both of them being great on the microphone. Imagine how popular Paddy Pimblett would become if they matched them and he beats Conor. His popularity would skyrocket. And since Dana White is in a constant search for new superstars, then why not make this fight for us, the UFC fans? Let's just wait and see how things would go, but there is one thing that we all have in common. We are all eager to see the return of the Notorious, and even more to see who his next opponent is going to be. That's all for today, but what do you think about all this? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe because it helps grow the channel.